Dave Gorman found overnight fame by chasing his name. He went on a worldwide search for all the other Dave Gormans on the planet, and to his amazement, he discovered that some of them were even stranger than him.
Have you ever met anyone else called Dave Gorman before?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Right, have you ever met anyone else called Dave Gorman? No.
So there's no other Dave Gormans in your family or anything?
My father was named David Gorman.
He forgot his own father. Can you imagine that? It gets worse.
My father was named David Gorman, and my grandfather was named David Gorman. And as far as I know, that's it.
God, how on earth do you forget that? The fact that you're Dave Gorman III ought to be a bit of a clue, frankly, but you heard him say, my father, my grandfather, but apart from that, that's it.
My son is named David Gorman.
He is?
It's sort of a family tradition.
It's a sort of a family tradition?
Well, in between that and other projects, Dave Gorman has been discovering the joys of, as Judy said, Googlewhacks, and he's desperate to share this enthusiasm with you lot. So go on, Dave, in the spirit of Call My Bluff, define Googlewhack.
Well, I'd say I didn't know what it was. I didn't invent it. It happened to me. I had an email one day from a complete stranger who was Australian.
You get a lot of those, don't you?
I do. I get hundreds a day. and an Australian guy emailed me, and his email said, "G'day, Davo. Did you know that you are a Googlewhack?" So my first thought was that I was being insulted by an Australian.
Yeah.
As they tend to.
There's only one part of my anatomy I can imagine the Australians calling a Google, and I thought he was accusing me of whacking it. So, so I naturally emailed him back saying, what the hell is it? And he explained it. So if you go to a search engine, and I think you can probably guess which one, and you put in 2 words and press search, normally you'll come back with 8,000 hits.
Like bedtime.
Yeah, you'll find 8,000 different
Yeah.
pages containing those 2 words. If it comes back with just 1 hit, that there is a Googlewhack.
And it says 1 of 1, doesn't it, on the top?
That's the thing.
And is this very, I mean, I am not
rare.
computer literate, but is this very, very rare?
Well, the search engine, it indexes 3 billion different pages around the internet. So it looks at 3 billion different pages, and if it comes back with only 1 to contain your 2 words, that's a whack. So I suppose it's a 1 in 3 billion chance.
And why are you a whack?
Well, he didn't mean my name was. He meant that there were 2 words that led to my website. So I've got a website, davegorman.com, and he'd found a Googlewhack which led to that website.
Now, let me give
So I'm kind of the custodian of one, really.
Before we go through our own, let me give you some examples that we've dug up.
Yeah.
Undersexed linguini. That's one, isn't it? Or was
Okay,
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that discovered by an Italian or a Brit?
Money-grabbing toady. There was only 1 site that had those.
No way. Money-grabbing toady, they should be together.
Well, haven't we got some of these on?
Surely.
We got one of yours.
We've got one of yours. Which is this?
There's,
oh, yes.
Yo-yo triptychs.
Now, let's have a look. Now,
if you search for yo-yo triptychs, you get just the 1 hit, which is this, it's a page about Chinese contemporary art. So the whole point of what I've done
Hang on. For people who are not used to...
Oh, I'm bobbing along in the wake now.
What it is...
He's with me.
Yo-yo happens to be the first name of a Chinese, well, an Indonesian artist who makes religious triptychs.
So it's on the same page?
A yo-yo triptych. Wow.
And this is a page about Chinese contemporary art. So I looked at this page, and I would I'd look around. It could have been anywhere. It had details about galleries in San Francisco and Chicago, and I didn't know where in the world this website was actually based. But I emailed the man whose website that is and said, can I come and meet you? And he said, of course you can, I'm in Beijing. So 3 days later, I was in Beijing.
You're doing it again,
meeting this man whose website it is. And
so you did
random visits around the world.
Yeah.
So you've been all over the place now, haven't you? Meeting these people.
It's a Dave Gorman thing again.
Unfortunately, I got commissioned to write a novel. I'm very naughty. I got commissioned to write a novel and given quite a large amount of money, and I haven't written the novel, but I have spent the money. So I apologise to my editor, Jake. Hello, I'm ever so sorry, and I'll do something about it soon.
Well, look, when we heard about this yesterday, our team challenged us, me and Judy individually, to come up with our own potential Googlewhacks. Okay. And what was yours, Judy?
I said Wormy Macs.
No, we thought Wormy Mac. There couldn't be that many sites that had that. Look at this.
How many did you get?
386.
386. That's how rare they are, you see.
Now, I sneered when I heard that, so because I knew I'd come up with a better one. I just knew I'd do better than that. So I said underling potato.
Okay.
514!
You're useless then, Richard. I'm sorry, but you are.
I thought, where are you going to find anything which has the 2 words underling and potato in close proximity? But there were 514 matches. Then you came up with a corker.
Did I?
Inventive garbology.
Oh, yeah,
inventive
nice. Now look at this, is close, look at this.
11.
That's,
okay,
now that's
close.
good, isn't it?
You're getting there, yeah.
That's
absolutely.
like a...
Yeah, you're getting, you know, you've got the smell of blood now,
smell of
you're
blood.
there, you're close.
And then I dreamt this one up. Seductive wordmonger.
Fantastic.
There it is.
Sylvia Plath.
Seductive wordmonger. It's a kind of like a Channel 4 version of Call My Bluff. Isn't it? Sort of late night Channel 4 version of that game. I like that. It's very good.
All right, so
The
okay,
Sylvia
so
Plath
now
Forum.
okay, we got the point, but you've based your show around it now.
Yes.
So how do and this is going to the Edinburgh Fringe?
It's going to the Edinburgh Fringe, and then it's on a 60-date national tour after that. But
Right.
it's already.
But
I've
what
actually
do you
already done it for
actually
6
do?
weeks in Australia.
Oh, really?
I did it 4 weeks in Melbourne, and in 2 weeks, get this, I'm very proud, 2 weeks at the Sydney Opera House doing
Yeah.
this show.
Really?
So, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
what's in the show?
What I do is I tell the story of what happened to me.
All right.
So it's not about sitting at a desk and playing with a computer.
That would be a little dull.
That would be a bit dull. But that would be like if you read the novel The Dice Man. It isn't about dice. It's about the travelling and the people
Yes.
and the rest of it.
Dave Gorman is the
I
same
tell
thing,
the
yeah.
story of everything that's happened to me. I've travelled 140,000 kilometres in 2 months. I spent over 1 week on an aeroplane in January and February of this year. So there's a lot of story, and there's so much I can't
You're
tell.
mad, you are.
No, he just wants to get on a plane and meet strangers, and there's a bloke in custody in Germany at the moment on the chance of that.
Well, I'd say that the strangers I meet, Richard, they'd like to meet me too, and they're not minors. So I think it's okay if that's okay.
It's all right. Of course
But
it is.
you're mad. I mean,
No, he's not. He's onto a good thing. He's found a very good way of doing a combination of a
very
travelogue.
expensive.
But
way.
I'd say I didn't want to. This one originally I was trying not to do. I've met several of them by accident and by other people sort of introducing me to them and things happening. And then it's partly because of what I've done in the past that I've got my friends all sort of expect me to do this kind of thing anymore.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be the grown-up. I'm in my 30s now, I've grown a beard. I thought I'll write the novel to go with this. And I wanted that to be what I was doing. And then on New Year's Eve, I was telling my friends about things that had happened to me in December and meeting people and all these things happening. And they really wanted me to do this. And they got me drunk, and I woke up on New Year's Day in Heathrow Airport with a ticket to Washington.
And a contract.
So it was already it wasn't really my doing.
Didn't you get a huge amount of well, hate mail's the wrong expression really, but violent? Well, you did. You got a lot
Hate
of
mail? No.
violent letters and emails because of when you shaved off your sideburns.
Oh yeah, I was a guest on the Frank Skinner show, and I shaved off a sideburn. Just to see what I looked like. I could sort of do one without and one with, and it was like a boy band had split up. I had like 1,000 emails the next day from people saying, "Oh no, you can't. You've got to grow them back."
Just one final word about Googlewhacks. When you've actually found one, it no longer is one, is it?
Well, well, no. The page of the search engine doesn't count because it doesn't index itself.
Yeah.
But they do change from time to time because the internet's constantly growing and evolving and new pages are being
I thought once
added.
you accessed it, it was like a beautiful flower that you plucked.
No, unfortunately no. But what has happened, because some reviewers in Australia sort of mentioned some of the Googlewhacks that are in the show, and they're now on websites.
Therefore,
so
it's no
now
longer
it's no
individual,
longer a
yes.
whack.
So you risk destroying the thing you
despoiled
crave,
it.
basically.
Absolutely, but there's always more out there.
Right.
And I get hundreds of emails a day now from people who keep finding them.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I know, it started again. I'm on a new cycle.
Dave, your descent into madness is beginning to be well charted on this programme.
It is,
We'll
and
have
I'd
you
love to come back
time.
the next time it happens.
When you're just a couple of steps further down, closer to the sectioning order. It's
Bless
great
you.
to meet
Nice to
Take
be
care.
here.
Nice
Thank
to see
you.
you. Good luck
Good
in
luck,
Edinburgh. Was that that's in August, isn't it?
Edinburgh in August, and then October, November and December on tour. All the dates are on davegorman.com.
Good.